In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do, 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 do. What's up,
Rockstar?
Is that humble?
The honorable, the caterpillar, the man of the time.
Otherwise,
I'm all right, brothers. Nina, what's happening?
No, I'm good. I don't know, Leroy, are you good?
Lord Zadius. Man, guys, I'm cool, man. I'm all chilled. Just taking it easy.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We have ZADOK at last.
Yeah. No. I'm also very excited. But I mean, if you're watching this thing, please make sure that you like, subscribe, depending on where you are. And also, follow him. We'll share his for
I'm a handle.
Wait, we'll share his handles.
Yeah, I think we're better because he changes every now and then.
What?
Okay.
Sometimes ZADOK, next time Lord Benjamin, Zadius.
Where I want us to start before name ZADOK, that name is
funny enough, I got it from I was reading a scripture once, and I saw that name, and I was like, "That's me."
Wait, hold up. That name is in the Bible?
Yes,
I got that name in the Bible. So there's a bit of a personal thing towards my actual name and what it means to me and my family, and like just generally moving forward, I just felt like, and I believe that like what I felt like God wanted me to do in my life moving forward was to kind of be a blessing and be that for a lot of people, you know, and that's kind of part of the definition of what ZADOK means. So yeah. When I decided to officially make my entrance into the music industry, that was who I was.
But now, to a person who doesn't understand, you know, I mean, Leroy didn't even know that name is in the Bible.
No, for the fans. The fans. Some fans don't know it's in the Bible.
What was the Bible? Like, what's the thing that was like, you know, that's me. You know, what really hits for you?
So initially, like I catch vibes very quickly. Which is why I work so hard. So I was reading and it stood out to me. So I wrote it down. I was like, that's interesting. That's a very interesting thing. But at the time I was not a musician, actually. I wasn't even working in the music industry. I was still a student, marketing student to be exact. And so I did that. And then I went and looked it up. And as I looked up and saw the definitions of and the breakdown of what the name itself means, I was like, this is who I am. So eventually, if I want to do something creatively, this will be who I am. That was it. Yeah. And then I think that was 2 or 3 years before I actually decided to become ZADOK and actually start working in the music industry.
Okay. Did they use it at home?
Yeah, because you guys send them things now. They
know who's ZADOK now.
But I didn't make it a thing at home because I was like,
okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of a sensitive conversation between me and my folks in terms of what I do and what they do. So.
Okay. I think it's gonna be a nice. I think it's gonna be a nice.
Yeah, today's gonna be lit.
In fact, it's encouraging me, but I don't want to pull it for too long. I just want to ask my very first question because that one was just like, you know, I was just interested in the name before I gave it over to Leroy.
I'm sure we were all.
To the people who don't know who you are, who ZADOK is, how would you introduce yourself to me?
Amen.
One of the hardest questions, bro. It's one of the hardest questions. Just so you know, we ask hard questions only here.
Yeah, I watched was it Toli?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the episode. Shout out to him, actually. He's one of the few OGs that actually showed me love when I got into the industry.
Oh, great.
Oh,
and it's nice that
shout out to him.
There are not many, but he's one of the few that were like, no, we see what you're doing.
Hey, Mama.
it's you know what's crazy, just to drive off topic.
Yeah.
This thing is generational. Like from every generation throughout history, from the 20s till now, every generation hates what they don't understand, you know, and whatever's different to them. Even from my generation, once we start seeing newer kids do stuff, I often hear my peers being like, that's not real. That's not. But you don't know what the person's process was towards how they became creative in that way.
Sure.
Who am I to define what your reality is or what your creativity should be like? But anyways, I digress.
I told you.
Go in, bro. Go in, bro. Go in. Don't
get me started. Hey. Yo. Yeah, so what was the original question?
No, the question is a simple one, but you can make it difficult if you want. Is if you...
Who am I?
Yeah.
I'm creative. That's it.
That's who you are.
I'm creative who's gifted at doing many different things in different spheres. But my gifting is being creative.
Okay.
So be it looking at business creatively or looking at brand positioning creatively or looking at marketing creatively or looking at music itself creatively and seeing how I can infiltrate that specific industry, my gift is being creative.
Okay. And how were you as a child?
Extremely creative.
Elaborate.
I was very curious and I always ask questions, which is a part of the reason why I've clashed heads with the people that I've clashed heads with, because of the fact that I am very inquisitive. I want to know the reasoning, the thought process behind why we do certain things. Why, like, to a simple thing like why are we giving offering in church? Why do we stand when we pray? Why can't we put things down? You know?
Yeah. Why must we close our eyes?
You understand what I'm saying? Yes. Why do I have to play a specific way? Why can't I? You know? Why do we use this jargon? Why do we call this a paradiddle? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
So that's the type of kid I was. But I was interested in what I was interested in. That was the unfortunate thing for those around me. So I was always interested in what I liked, not what the next person or whoever was my senior wanted me to like.
Okay.
Which puts you in a tricky situation, especially like.
So your dad had it hard.
Yeah. Look, he had it.
He used to ask a lot, even in church, like, why are we doing this?
No, you see, so now here's the thing. The reason why I am the way I am, my inquisitive nature comes from my dad. He's a very well thought out individual. So anytime I asked a question, he had an answer for me. Yes, like
nice.
To a point where the question would be now reverted to my thought process behind my question. He would always be like, why do you think like that? Why would you have approached that question like that? Why is that your question? Yeah. So like why a simple situation would be like me asking, why is this so? Why would you do this wrong? And he's like, why would you think that is, you know? That's the father I had. So it was a blessing and a curse, but yeah, it made me who I am right now.
So I guess that then at least
maybe
made
a
it
rock
comfortable.
star.
I guess that's then what made it comfortable for you to be able to express your thoughts and your views. Because I mean, I think I kind of can relate with what you're saying because I think I've challenged everything ever since I was born. Therefore,
now.
Yeah. So yes and no. Yes and no. So I've learned one that I am entitled to my own questions and having my own perspective, right? But I also very quickly after high school learned to understand and compassionate towards other people's reasons and why they believe the way they believe. Case in point, for some Christians, being that way means not going to the movies. You understand? And I've learned to be compassionate to their walk and how they understand Christ. You know, as much as it may not be that way for everybody else, or how I prefer to view things. It's just I've learned that. So I am willing to voice my opinions, but I also know when and where to. Okay. It's not everything needs my opinion. I'm not that important.
Okay. No, go for it, Lee.
Yeah. Today we took another route, man. Hey, today we really took another route. So, Kulele Tegwini, or was it
for the first 17
and
years?
And then after that, high school?
Same thing. The whole, for all of
the whole
yeah, for 17 years I was in KZN, Durban.
Okay, cool. I want to ask the question about the move to Bloom and what is going on there.
Oh, that was a school, and I just wanted to get away from home.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause I'm in,
so
like
it's
I
going
said,
back to the.
yeah. So like I said, I'm a
Okay.
very independent thinker, and I feel very stifled if I don't get to live out or be the way I believe I should be. So it generally affects my well-being if I can't like just be me, you know. So that's why I had to like leave. I left.
So,
I finished when I was 17 and then I dipped.
so what's the first instrument that you play? And what? Okay, because there was a question like this. Let me just read that question. You know, it's not time for those questions, but I
The viewers.
you know, this person was
Have
asking,
questions.
which instrument do you play? Because you play, you know, a lot of them in Excel, in all of them. Hi, bro, this guy. Yeah, that was from Manda Munyai. So my question is, which instrument do you know, I know you play a lot of them, but where did you start with your instruments?
I started playing drums. Personally, I started on drums, but playing publicly, the first thing I played was keyboards in church when I was 5 years old.
So drums, you were how old? You were what?
I don't know.
3.
I just know I was playing after service and things like that. But the first service I played, I just broken down like a sharp progression. Because I grew up listening to a lot of Andre Crouch, the Winans.
Oh yeah.
And so that was the first thing I knew how to play was a shout and C major type of thing, sharp progression. So that's what I played. That was the first thing I ever played when I was like 5. Wanda was there actually. Wanda was the guy playing keys, Wanda Kwela.
Shout out to Kwela.
Yeah, that's like I consider him one of my OGs as well.
OG.
Yeah. That's technically how I got my start publicly, but apparently there's stories of me when I was like 2-3 years old when I would crawl during my dad's sermon whenever we would visit different churches and he'd be preaching and I'd like crawl to the drum kits and all that and like try to be slick about it and always be around drums.
You have no recollection of those?
I don't know that. I'm just told that.
You know? Wow, imagine.
So possibly you rebelled. Your first love was drums before you could decide, and then when you could decide, you disobeyed yourself.
No, not at all. My one and only love was always in drums.
Okay.
From then till now.
All right.
Nothing makes me happier than playing drums.
That's dope. So how many instruments do you play?
I don't know yet.
All of them.
So far.
I say I don't know yet because I haven't been given the opportunity to play other instruments. So the only reason why I play right now, I play keys, drums, bass, and guitar, but only because those instruments are around. You know. So it was I played out of necessity. If there was no bass player, I play bass. If there's no drummer, I play drums. If there's no keyboard, I play keys. If there's no, it was never I want to play this. I'm playing it. No. Even now, like I'm playing keys for whoever I'm playing keys because they didn't have a keyboard player. I didn't decide that I want to play keys. Before him, I was playing guitar for someone else because they didn't have a guitarist. But it wasn't a thing of I wanted to play guitar. It's the guitarist. The guitarist
is always in the job.
I knew the music and I had a background in guitar, so I was like, okay, cool. I have a pedal, I have a guitar, let's operate. You know, it was never a thing of I want to play a specific instrument. If you ask me personally, I'll be playing drums, my brother.
The whole time.
The whole time, dog. What do you mean?
That's why you hear drums.
No, I don't know. I think you redeemed yourself because I was like, hey, this guy is a rebel. You know, he betrayed his love. You know, I mean, the drums were knocking when you couldn't even decide, and you know, and I'm like, I'm seeing you in so many. I'm seeing you a lot with keyboards, guitars. That's the things I'm seeing all the time.
One of my first professional industry jobs was being drums and MD for press.
Okay.
Nice.
So like, it's always been there. It's just the other stuff got more noise, and I never had access to drums. I've never had my own drum kit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Makes a lot of sense. Goli.
What did you study in school? Like at university?
Marketing.
Yeah. And you mixed it with music.
Apparently I did.
Bomb combo.
And how's that going? How's that going? You still practice marketing quite a bit, or?
No, I have people who do that for me now.
Okay.
No,
Hey,
So you've got like a thing.
I do a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm great at multitasking, but it only goes to a certain extent. I can only multitask so much within my music capabilities, like being a music director to somebody, being a producer to someone else, being a writer for someone, you know, being different things to different people. You can only use your brain power so much to be that good. So I've learned the art of delegating.
What's the very first gig? Okay, maybe not the first gig. The main gig that you think put you out, and everybody after that gig knew who you were.
No gig put me on, you know. I got put on by my social media.
By social media.
Yeah. So,
oh wait. What was it? Those videos, man?
Yeah.
I was on one of those videos.
Shout out to you. He's talking about I did an All Eyes on Me challenge where I remade one of AKA's performances. Performance video, made it a challenge. Drummers jumped in. Some dude from the US also jumped in. Like, it was wild. It was so exciting. It was a great time on South African Musician Facebook. Speaking of which, I want to speak on that. I don't think there is as strong a community as the SA musician community in terms of niche Facebook communities. That community is loud, bro. The South African musician community is loud, very loud.
Yeah.
Granted, it's only on Facebook, but they're very loud, and we do crazy stuff. We've had some fun times over the years, you know, with Errol and
there by the village.
I remember that Errol thing. Hey, that thing was a problem. It trended like crazy.
Too.
I saw them talking about us on One Gospels, talking about cyberbullying. I'm like, oh,
you are police. You made it. You see, I mean, you are a bully. Then I mean, you're a bigger bully than the high school police.
Oh, that was very funny. That was a very funny time in my life.
Crazy.
Oh no, but
you know what's crazy? So, back to the question about what put me on. I know I'm paraphrasing the question, but you were saying what gig put me on, and there wasn't specifically a gig that put me on. It was just a series of events that led to where I am right now in the industry, because the videos did enough for the musician community to recognize who I am.
Okay.
But I barely got any work out of that outside of Surprise calling me to work with him for arranging some of my auntie's music. Outside of that, my videos barely got me any work, to be very honest, you know. A lot of the work that I got was because of personal interaction.
So was it your marketing head that really put you to that, or did you not even anticipate that will be the response that would come?
Look, I'll be very honest.
He planned it out.
Yeah, clown. No, to be very honest, and
sorry.
I don't know if your audience is very religious or not, but
no, it's not.
Yeah, sorry guys. Personally, this is my belief system. It was all God, man. I couldn't have planned it out this well, man. I couldn't have planned it though. I moved to Joburg the beginning of 2017. The 2 weeks after I moved to Joburg, I bagged my first MD gig.
Hey, listen to that.
Yeah, that was music directing for Dream Team in their European tour. That was Wales, England, the UK, basically. That was like literally how things fell in my lap. It was not a thing of me knocking on doors and saying, hey, Abuti put me on, yo, this, do that, or I'm doing videos to build, to get jobs. No, it's just, I generally did videos because I liked, which is why I took a long break from doing videos, because when I was started gigging, whenever I would try to go back to videos, there was something that was like weighing on my head, and it was like, okay, why are you doing it? Yeah. Now it was like I'm doing it for other people,
for the matrix,
for work or whatever. And I was like, no. Yeah, you know what I mean? I never started doing videos because of other people. I did it because I liked it. I did it because I liked the song so much I couldn't get it out of my head. I'm going to cover that song.
Whoa.
And you changed it.
That's what I did. That's literally what I did with WC Caller. I was so hyped. That was one of my
Bruh, that was nice.
I was always team. That was
Hey,
always
too. Hey, that was a vibe.
If that's my favorite song, that's what I'm going to do. You know? Same thing with Kabora Murek. We all know that Limpopo sound, né?
Yeah.
But I had never heard such beautiful melodies on that song. That blew my mind, those melodies. I was like, that's amazing, you know? Those are the melodies we hear in common pop music in the US.
Yeah.
So I was like,
mainstream.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something on this. That's how I started doing videos. It was never let me get work or whatever. I wasn't working when I did videos. I was not a musician. I didn't have musician aspirations at the time. I was a marketing student.
So you did marketing just for the folks, or you liked it?
I did it because it was a means of me getting away from home.
So when you begged it, you're like, it's done. I'm doing my thing.
Yeah, literally.
It was for the parents.
Yeah, like looking back over the years, now I can realize, now I've matured to actually realize that that's all I needed. I just needed space to be me. That's
and it
all,
worked.
And I got it. Literally, I got space. I learned what I needed to learn about the basics of business management and operating, and registering things, and just what you need to do. And then I was like, I don't know, what was the turning point for me? The turning point for me was the ENCA video, the Where the Pots video.
Oh yeah,
that's probably one of my biggest videos to date. I think got like 130,000 views, if I'm correct. And ENCA called me, hit me up to talk about like me as a producer and all of that. I'm like, I don't work in the industry.
You're not a producer. I'm at school.
I was back in Durban. I had access to drums at church, so I could record the drums there at church. You know what I mean? Like, and that's when I saw that blow up, like 10,000 in like I don't know how many hours. I'm like, I go to prayer meeting. When I get out of prayer meeting, 30,000 views. How? What's happening? You know? And then that call the next morning. And then that's kind of what like made me realize that I'm actually good. Like, it was a process for me to actually recognize my own greatness. And doing that's a very important part of being a good musician, which is having an honest self-view of yourself, recognizing what you're good at and recognizing what you're not good at. So that was my moment. That was my moment of realizing I'm actually good. Yeah.
There's another question here from Sanziso. I think it's from Swaziland. Sanziso. I don't know what you heard, but yeah, his first question is, Mr. ZADOK, what was your daily practice routine that got you to where you are now?
Never had a practice routine in my life. I don't know. My attention span.
The attention span is what? So no routine. You just if you feel like it, you just go play. That's it.
Yeah.
Baba lalela. Siyadlala manje.
That's it. Yo. Is it? If I swag school.
Music director.
Yeah, you must put some chords to it. Okay, I think the second question was brief info on sequencing for a performance and what's important to do.
Wait, what's the question?
I will but it's a brief info on sequencing. We'd like to know more on sequencing for a performance. And it says, and what's important to do.
Okay. I get what they mean.
Great.
Envision the performance as a production. Every performance is a production, treated as such.
Okay. I think
wait.
Yeah.
So you treat it as a production yonke.
Yeah? Come again?
You treat it as a production yonke.
It is a production.
Okay, yeah,
It is
it is a
production.
production,
So
but
there's different
you're
elements
thinking,
involved in the production. So I have to now envision how is the music going to sound when the live drum elements come in, the live guitar elements come in, these elements get, all of these elements, when they come together, what's that going to feel like with whatever I've built? And I must build the music that I'm building in context of that.
And also leave some space.
yeah, you know why I say this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Sorry,
jump in,
sorry.
jump
You
in.
know why I say this? Because some of them envision it as a studio production. So when they're playing it, they know exactly what's okay. Let's figure studio. This is what you're gonna do. This is what you're gonna cut. So but when you're thinking it as a whole production,
From
yeah,
the
but like
set.
it's live.
Yes.
They hamba one time.
Yes. I need to,
Cool.
it needs to feel a certain way. At the end of the day, our job as musicians is communicating feelings, sonically. And that's what the performance needs to feel. You know, it's not really it's less about flexing what you can do and more creating an experience. You know what I mean? So if a fire experience means me playing one note for 10 seconds, that's what we're gonna do. You understand? If that's what's going to
Change.
If that's what's going to elevate the performance and the production as a whole, you know. We can get into details, but I don't think.
Yeah, no. I think you've answered that like a pro. You are. I mean, for me, it's very for me, I think I agree a lot with that, because I feel like sometimes our concentration and how we look at things is, I won't say in a bad context, but I think sometimes we miss context, you know, to say, what is this thing for? And I think one of the things I love is you saying that you're prioritizing the experience, the feeling. Because I think that's where the conversations, we're missing each other in conversation right here, you know, because others worship, you know, the technical side of music, others worship I'm using worship loosely. I'm not saying that's their bowing and whatever. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of what you just said as far as prioritizing the experience and the feeling. Because I mean that's why we go to movies and all of those things. It's the feeling. You know, if you take away the feeling, you've lost everything, you know. It doesn't matter if, you know, that scene had the most expensive car. If the feeling was not there, you know, it really doesn't matter. It's useless. You know, I really like what you said. But so am I right to think that then your traveling years started in 2017? Because you said 2017.
I did stuff during school that afforded me the opportunities to travel. I've been to the States like twice. I've been to Egypt. That was before music. Yeah, that was before music. And then after music, I only did like the UK really. And then Africa, I don't count Africa because it's here though.
Yeah, but it's still traveling. I mean,
I wasn't saying.
Like it's here,
dog.
My brother, if you go to, you know, there's people who never leave Voslogas.
But it's here,
they just travel from one part of Oslo to another part of Oslo. You know, so therefore, because I'm asking you this because I want to understand what traveling has done for you. It's great that you have traveled even before.
Now let me tell you something.
Tell us
something. So my first trip to the States I think it's part of why I am the way I am.
Okay.
My first trip to the States was such an eye-opener. I got to spend some time in New York. That changed my life. In terms of perspective and how the world can be and how alive that city is. Like,
sure,
maybe it's just
sleeps.
Yeah, just maybe it's the way I am, but there's a vibe in the air when you're there, you know. And when you get there, it felt so alive for me. I went through like I think a month or so of depression when I came back.
Oh man.
Yeah, because I didn't want to come back. I was mad. I was like, dude, I need to be there, bro. Like, that's where I need to be. I was genuinely sad. I felt like, yo, what am I doing here? Generally speaking, because that's what, the perspective and the amount of space for growth there like creatively. And at that time I was very young, so I saw the world very creatively, and I was willing to dream. The options were just, it was incredible for me.
And how old were you?
14.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say
Yeah. So that when I came back, I was sad. I'm not gonna lie, I was sad. But
so you needed to come back and regroup and rethink everything else back home.
Listen, I was a kid. I was not thinking about regrouping, eh? I was just
You're just feeling with life.
I just said about what I just experienced. I was like, life can be so much more. I must come back here.
Yeah. So are you ever going to go back to America and live there and maybe build a career that side? Look, listen to that. I can hear you thinking and planning. Like, I can hear you think, my brother.
And God willing, who knows?
God willing.
I don't wanna. There are things that are in motion that I can't exactly talk about. So
okay.
God willing.
We hear you, man.
Yeah.
Jump in, Lee.
So, and there's a question here on our socials.
Yeah.
They want to know, how is it playing for AKA?
Oh. Let me tell you something. It's stressful, Jim.
We've had a lot about
that is probably one of the most stressful endeavors of my life. That and producing One Night with Jav.
Yeah.
I think those are the two most
stressful in
my life.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Forbes. Forbes is the real deal. You go in life and you meet creatives and people who are not unsure about what they're doing and all of that. AKA is the real deal.
Yeah.
He is what he preaches. He is that guy. You see that the music and his person, that is for, he is that person. He's all out for what he's doing. It means the world to him. He cares about the details musically.
Okay.
So it means more to him. So everything is amplified when you're working with someone like that, They want you to give your all on stage. He's making me, he says, come with runs, boy, come with the lyrics, come with hits. I want arrangements, bring it, come with that. Give it to me, because I want to feel that energy when I'm on stage, because he is an actual, he's alive. He lives.
So it's opened up.
My brother, that is one of the few most honest artists that I've met in my life. That man is an artist, an actual.
Wow.
And I genuinely appreciate the relationship that I have with him, man. He's a real nigga.
He's dope.
He's a real nigga, though. No cap.
And then the Java?
Same thing, bro. So they're different. I like to explain like this. They're like different sides of the same coin. So their passion and their dedication to the craft is the same. Their personalities make them deliver it differently.
Sure.
So, case in point, if I play a melody that is different to what would be expected in the track, AKA would immediately react and be like, what's that? Because he hears that and he reacts. That's the type of person he is. Java would react but not say anything. Give it a chance. So it's not that they don't pay attention to the details, it's just they react differently. This is the personality.
Okay.
But they are both very specific about what they want, which I appreciate. It's great to see people who there's a clip I posted on Instagram about one of the songs that we performed at Sun Arena. And if you listen to the brass line that we added in, we were very adamant about us adding that brass line in there because it's an ad lib that the vocal on the track sings. And that specific part on Ukoko. And he added that brass line in there, while the BVs are singing other BVs that are on the track. So it's all a live representation of the track itself. If that makes sense. But it was crazy. It's crazy working with both of these people. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's crazy. I'm very blessed to work with.
Oh man, that's a dope gig.
Like, it's not a joke. I write music. These guys are talented.
I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you. So do you think that our industry is doing enough to embrace new concepts and
No.
Or is it okay? It's
No,
forcing everybody-
no, that was quick.
Go in. You sound like there's a story there. I
Baba
don't want you to
Lalela,
feel
there's
like
a
I don't
story.
want you to feel like Siakvala, Tinala.
No, not at all.
Just go in. Bro.
So, in our individual capacities, yes, we are. That's the one thing that's always been great about South African creatives. We are early adopters. That's why we have always been the best around the continent, and in my opinion, the best in the world.
Yeah.
Because we have always been early adopters of whatever's happening around us. Like if drill started popping off somewhere, we would take it and you'll hear how Black Diamond interpreted it so beautifully. If anything happens anywhere in the world, we've always interpreted from Bo Kaifas to Bo Brenda taking funk and making it ours. We have always done that as South Africans, so we're great at that. But the industry at large, as an organized organism, no, we don't move quick enough. That's why you can see the discrepancy between like what we consider the industry and the rise of Amapiano. Like that, I've never understood anybody who hates on Amapiano when it is probably one of the most, if not the most honest genre, honestly South African genre.
Sure. Yes, it is.
Doing my reactions of Amapiano in America.
If you look at all of the musical traces in piano and you love South African music, you can't be mad.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It has everything that is us.
South African, yes.
Everything from Kwaito influence to drum influence to the deep house influence,
yes,
commercial house influence, to the Bacardi influence. Like, guys,
you know, I agree. Yeah.
It took the industry at large 3 years to say, actually, this is the shit.
Because the industry is exactly like OGs. It's like what you were saying earlier. It's not really, it's a thing that is there. And I think it's a human thing. It is. More than it being like whatever. It's a human thing that people are afraid of what they don't know. So when you don't know it, you're judging it, a bit much harsher.
And to be able to handle you need to be very self-aware. And that's one thing we like as a country from top to bottom, from our leadership structure. We are not self-aware people. We don't look inside and say, what did I do?
But what's not wretched? No, but you must remember piano again. Also, we must be fair. When the vocal piano came in, everything was like asses. In time like bono khali taxi nganje. Uzo khali piano mfethu. Is in time Sunday morning. It's like no, these guys are
when piano really went mainstream was that Aglale. That was the public though. That was very relatable to the public. And like I will say this. I personally take offense to us calling piano wretched because
everything is
wretched. No, but it's not
not you guys. I'm saying them. It's wretched because they only call it wretched because it makes black people happy. And I don't like
hey, bro, like it makes them so happy.
You're right. I mean,
people so happy when piano plays, dog. Yo,
what's not wretched? That's what I asked. Yeah, it's what I asked. It's going back to this. It's going back to what he said. If you have an experience and talk to the emotion go via music, it did the job. So piano did the job basically. Yeah, no, it really did.
It makes us feel a certain way as a country, and for as long as it gives us that feeling, it's not gonna die. Yeah, it will never die. No. Also, as long as the community is there. I mean, I think what killed Kwaito was the community. I think the community of Kwaito just let it go.
They were so loyal.
And the feeling. There was a point where they lost that feeling that they used to give us.
Yeah.
And that's what SA hip hop for a period of time fell into. Because when SA hip hop was at the top, those songs that were winning made us feel a certain way. Yeah. Karakara made people feel a certain good. Or like those songs in that golden era made people feel a certain way. As soon as you stop having songs that make us feel somehow as a country, you lose us. I feel like though the church and the community. When I say church, I mean the community. Everything has a church, right? So without that community, then you will never authentically say their story. Because you must remember, as musicians,
you're saying your community, you have to be part of the community and you have to be the voice of the community. So if you say what the community is saying on stage, then, you know, the community is with you all the way. So Kwaito lost it because, you know, it lost the community, you know, and they started singing about things that maybe, yeah, well, the community really didn't. I mean, think about Toluguti, for example, as a vibe. You know, it was a thing that was there when the guy said it, you know, but he was saying things that were big in clubs, you know, it was like Toluguti, you know, and it was a big thing in the community, big before it was even recorded, you know, and I mean, when it came out, when it came out, well, it was not necessarily a piano, but, you know, so for me, I think community is part and parcel, because if you make something, you know, you depend on the people you are making it for to kind of take it to the next level. I don't know, but this is what I think that's possibly what killed Kwaito. I don't know if you wanted to add on this, or should I hit the next one?
I was just gonna say, look, I don't want to be the guy. I just don't want to say that I'm saying these things are exactly what happened.
No, it's a view. Yeah, it's a view.
They're contributing factors.
Sure.
No, like
no ZADOK Uti. Ute contributing.
On record.
On record, Ute contributing. Kune-footage lapha esiyifunayo. Azokulanda amapantula. So what experience gave you your most valuable lesson? It could be in music or in life.
Lego Europe.
Noma kuphi. Noma kusesikhawini.
That's a tough one, eh?
Yeah.
That's my most. I don't know if I can say right now, ne? Okay, I can speak about what has hit me in recent history, and that's COVID.
Yeah.
Hey, I was about to ask you on that.
So COVID and the concept of success. I was actually having this conversation with Lebu Morolo last year. That now, what COVID has done has stifled an industry top to bottom.
Sure.
That doesn't happen anywhere else, right? No matter, during whatever pandemics, generally speaking, your health industries, your accounting industries, all these other industries, they function. Yeah, people may lose their jobs, but the industries don't crumble completely.
Sure.
They don't grind to a screeching halt. That happened in the music industry for us. That means that people who had been working for 10 to 15 years in a specific industry now had nothing.
All of them.
Yes, you understand? Where you can go from an income of approximately 80 to 100K a month to zero, right? And that now, the psychological damage of that, what it does for you is it tests your actual knowledge in who you are. So now, what I'm trying to say is that if you don't know and don't actually understand what you are and where you are in life, you will have crumbled during this whole season. Because I had to accept the fact that I am successful. As a musician, as a producer, I am successful. I have seen success. Irrespective of what my bank account looks like right now. Internally, I am successful. And I am good because of how God made me. I am that way. I had to internalize that process. Because what the trap of how COVID affected a lot of us mentally was everything around you doesn't look like what you are and what you know. Right? You have to let go of certain things. You have to let go of a car. You have to let go of a house. You have to let go of certain things. That doesn't change who you are or what you've done and what you can do. They don't change any of that. Yes, it's your reality, but it doesn't change who you are.
It's not your identity. Yeah.
It's not your identity. And that was the biggest lesson for me that I had to I thought I understood it, but it was an actual test of that. Do you know who you are? And are you confident in who you are and who God has made you to be? You understand?
So you have to channel your mind.
So I had to deliberately internalize that and be like, okay, things may be tricky right now, but I am who I am. I'll do what I have to do to get through it and figure out what I want to do, whether it means staying in the industry, living in the industry, whatever. But it mustn't take away from my intrinsic identity of who I am.
Good. Champion ufuna umshayela izandla ophuma incebo.
Bephuma incebo.
Ubizo lasekhaya, phuma ubizo lasekhaya ke manje.
So yeah, that was the biggest
dope.
With my team and
man,
that I'm having conversations with, you know, these are the things we keep dealing with because it's not easy. It's not easy. You know, we have bills.
Yeah.
Some of my friends have kids, you know. It's you have mouths to feed. That weighs on your mind. It weighs on your mind.
Cool.
On everything, on your creativity also.
It weighs on everything, and it pulls at who you are. And now you want to act somehow, you want to behave some way because you're not getting what you used to get. No, my brother.
Hey, bro, listen.
Things have changed.
You need to remember, like I was just telling my good friend Oshibo Uguti, my job here is not to be successful. My job is to show up, do my job, manage my relationships. Period. The success of all of that is in God's hands.
True.
I can't be responsible for whether or not my song goes to #1 or whatever. Maybe I can look at maybe marketing things and this, that. But if I've done all I can towards that, it's not my problem. And that's what a lot of us in the music industry, I think, might have been challenged with over the past 12 to 16 months. Nice. I know I was.
And here you are, award winner.
I can't tell you how many good things have been happening for me lately. It's crazy.
How does it feel to be an award winner?
Dog, I've been an award winner for 3 years, Chief.
How does it feel? It's
that's the first time that I'm actually being recognized for it. But like my work has been like, you know, it's been out there really. But the recognition that I got this time was very nice. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a great feeling. And one thing I've learned is to accept that celebration. Once you know who you are, all of that celebration is not validation or affirmation. It's just confirmation of who you already know you are.
Sure.
So it doesn't really sway me. I appreciate it and I take where it comes from, but I also know that I know where I am, I know what I'm working towards, and unless it pays any of my bills, it means pretty much nothing to me.
Jumping, how many questions do you have?
Just like two more, I think.
Go for them.
Does being a winner in South Africa change the dynamics in you being paid better, or does it just add more recognition?
In the context of how the pandemic messed up the industry, no. But I do believe the way the industry was growing, I think it would have. Like, let me tell you now, I would have definitely upped my fee by at least 20 to 30%. You know, but we're in the current scenario that we're in right now. Every phase of the industry is hobbling on one leg, be it from a service provider perspective to a production company to the budget channels have for shows and things like that. Everyone's hobbling. So we're working until we get back to some sort of
normality.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Java, how did that come about?
Yeah.
Java, how did that come about?
The band.
You guys met in school. You guys met at school.
Okay, so Java's current band, to my knowledge.
Current band.
That's very important.
Wait. Current. What's going on?
Java's current band, to my knowledge, is Zizi on guitar, Kwatsoto on drums, Travis on bass and music director, and Lisole Matlabe and Keith Soldier. Two of those guys I kind of go way back with, but we kind of just like built the relationship and grew together. This was back when I was in Bloemfontein. They were part of the guys that also they were part of the contributing factors that made me believe that I can actually do this thing, you know. I recently posted on my personal Facebook just shouting them out because I was just like, you know, I'm not going to pretend that I got you on my own, as much as I'm amazing and I'm talented and I'm probably a generational talent, but I wouldn't have gotten to this point without these people, you know?
Oh.
So, yeah, we built that relationship over the years, and then that kind of just happened where Strava needed a band, and then I put the band together for him.
Right.
Wow, nice.
So what's
like
your
the
dream
myth.
for the industry?
What's my
Dream for the industry?
My dream for the industry is standardization.
Meaning?
Having standard operating procedures on pretty much almost all.
Oh yeah.
So, and the best way to explain this is to use examples of other industries, right? There's ways certain industries work, and you don't just jump into being a nurse, or you don't just get to prick somebody out of nowhere. There needs to be certain
regulations, kind of
regulations, yes. But now, and then we had this chat on Whiplash last year, is that what's going to be very hard about the implementation of that kind of idea is creating space for creativity in that process. Because remember, we're in a creative industry that is wholly based on how you make people feel. So at the end of the day, like, as much as I might have the most accreditation, but someone with 0 stars can come into my job and do it better than me. That's the trick about being creative.
Yeah.
But as much as that exists, I can't have somebody with 0 stars coming in directing the summers. It's going to be a shit show. You understand? You understand? So, like, that's just an example, but I was just illustrating that there needs to be, you know, that across the board, where we know that, you know, costs for artists, this is that, you know, the price range of when you become a certain level of artist, what you can expect financially, legal frameworks and all of those kind of things. That's my dream, for it to be an actual functioning industry, right? Because personally, if anyone tells me they want to enter the music industry, my immediate reaction is no. Because being an entrepreneur is hard. But being an entrepreneur in the music industry is a
Tell me about it, man.
So yeah, you understand? So that whole process, I wanna hope that somewhere down the line, maybe in the next 50 to 70 years, the South African industry musical framework is solid, bro. Like it needs to be strong. We have too much talent. We have way too much talent that, if correctly, if it was operating in a well-functioning system that supported them adequately, bro. I'm huge.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Actually, I can't remember who we interviewed who was saying that their dream is something similar to what you're saying, but basically, like, for example, and I was looking at Messi, who's going to earn, like, what is it, 40 million rand a day, basically, if you break down his payment. You know,
40 million pounds a year.
So this guy, a day, he's making about 40 million rand. Like, so we're busy calculating, you know, something like that, or 1.4 million. I think it was 1.4 million. So it's like crazy, you know. So, but that other person who was saying this, in one of the guests, was saying that it's because, you know, for example, in sports, you know, there are regulations, exactly what you're talking about.
Actually, there's regulations and the value system.
And it starts at school, you know, it starts at the bottom going up. I mean, right now you have sports in school. You don't have music in school.
My brother.
Because there's no system.
Personally, I should have, when I was, look, I was a solid musician by the time I was 13, bro. Like, me between then and now, but had I been in a different country that had a solid functioning industry where my parents wouldn't be too stressed about me getting into that industry, we'd be having a different conversation. Right? I can tell you that for free.
Yeah,
we'd be having a totally different conversation about that.
So Lee,
you
have something on my
when can we expect Whiplash? Season 3, 4?
You know what the trick is about Whiplash? So Whiplash there's a lot of people involved, and so Whiplash is a crew of niggas. We have been we have been niggas for about 6-7 years now as a crew. The eight of us. It's myself, it's Shivo, it's FD, it's Sneakiwe, it's Rico, it's Stomach, it's what am I missing? Moby, yes, Mazibu, yes. The loud one, that's one. Him,
yeah. You'll curse anytime.
Yeah. KB was the catalyst for all of this. Us as niggas, we're a crew of niggas, but also there's many of us. So facilitating everybody's presence, and it's hard.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. It's hard. We're all doing many things. So me personally, I have so much on my plate. Literally will tell you the nightmare it was for me to try and schedule this with you guys.
Wow.
Wow. So now you add me, who's a producer, and all of these things. You add FD, who's a producer, mix master engineer, and drummer. You have that. You have Shivo, who's a project manager, who is a drummer.
Project manager, drama.
He does many things outside of music as well. And then
fiber, everything.
It's wild. You understand? He does fiber and all of these things. And you have all of these people. It's like, it was
a businessman.
It was God's grace that we were able to do that. So look, if we get some solid partners to come on board and it makes sense, then we'll do it. I think we can definitely do it. It's just a matter of timing and planning, I guess. But I would love to bring it back because the feedback was ridiculous. And also it's raw, it's honest, you know. We talk our shit, though. That's the reality of it. You know, we're very honest there. Very, very, very honest on that show. You know?
Yeah.
Which was tough to manage at times because now in
now frempa.
You understand? The Ramon telling us AKA didn't pay him for Joburg Day. We were like, hey, we didn't see that coming, you know. But that's the platform. That's what Whiplash was about. So
hey, too.
That
was crazy.
It was special. I'm not gonna lie. It was very special to be a part of something like that. You know, Stomach dropping hints that he might have retracked drums for Sabu, but Sabu doesn't know. you know, like. It was amazing, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Whiplash is the vibe. Since today is the 21st, happy belated birthday to Sabu. It was his birthday on Thursday.
Today.
Oh really? Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
I thought it was today.
Yeah. But this is gonna be on Saturday.
Yeah. So
yeah. No, he's very smart. This guy. He calculated everything. So Lee, are you done? Must I ask my last question?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You look like you've got more.
But we can talk forever with him.
No. Right.
If you have questions, ask them.
Yeah.
He's a rock star.
I don't do this.
Okay, cool. So let me ask my last one.
Yeah.
If you were to go back to, yourself, your 12-year-old self, what advice would you give yourself?
Oh, he said he was solid at 13, so.
Well,
as a musician, not as an individual. He's asking about music.
Oh yeah, as a
holistic advice.
Back yourself.
Back yourself. Like,
it took me way too long to realize that I was good. And that crippled me for quite a bit. Definitely back myself. I envy a lot of kids who got into the industry when they're like 18, 19. Like there's kids I'm working with now, very talented kids who are like 16, 17. We're working on songs, producing things and whatnot. And I'm so jealous of the fact that they are able to capitalize on their talent at that age. Damn. You know, I should have just gone with it. I should have just ran with it. But that being said, I have no regrets because, man, look where we at now, bro.
ZADOK. Thank you very much for coming through. Really enjoyed this interview again. I am enjoying Drum Catalyst. I'm every time we get into a new
rock star.
Quran, guys. The host that Quran is one of the 4 hosts. What happened, guys?
Yeah.
They on the page, they are so Quran's name. What's happening? Where is?
No, Quran was here.
Where is he? He was here.
He was here already.
Were you interviewing him or is he part of the team?
No, we were interviewing him.
We interviewed him, yeah.
Oh, I thought he's doing this with you guys. Yeah.
No, we were interviewing him. Yeah, we interview different cats, different contributors to this music, you know. But yeah, thank you very much for coming. Yeah, you said you were going to give us your hand before we leave.
I have a question for you guys. You know, I just wanted to know.
Normally it doesn't work like that, but
I wanted to know, you know, how it feels for you guys to have a legend, you know, on your.
A rock star of note.
I know that the burden of greatness is too much, guys. You know.
Like, we are so blessed right now.
No, really.
In the presence.
Really, we are, you know. But thank you very much for coming. We still need your handles.
My handles everywhere are ZADOK. That is ZADOK, ZA. Because I am proudly South. That's why I have ZA.
You're proudly Zaid Africa.
You really?
Yeah, no,
really
that's a big thing for me, guys.
It must be the bloom.
Guys, we are the best country in the world, guys. Guys, please don't get
no
into
longer relocating.
I got to move 14 like that.
American. I'm gonna be ZO USA.
USA.
Just like America's the best in the world, best believe it.
We out here South Side, bro. You know what it is, man.
Say. No, if I'm drum set, like this is the last question. If it's a drum set, the one that you prefer, which mic would it be?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because one of that Pearl reference series and the Master series, bro.
Bruh,
it touched me.
Those are nice.
Two of my favorite kits to have ever played on was that Pearl reference kit and the Sona. Is it the SQ2?
Yeah, SQ2.
Yeah. My brother.
Those are loud drums.
I like dog. I'm a loud nigga, dog. I'm really loud sounds, chief. You
know reference, Baba.
Reference. I was wrong about it. So when he was doing the other thing, you could hear that what he's singing was like hits. It was like orchestra hits, like wah, wah, wah. Like So
when you enter, they must feel us, my brother. They must feel us.
So you know what dynamics are there? Dynamics are you don't play. We come out. And then the song
we come out. No one is playing.
That's the dynamics. It's not the volume. Dynamics is
this guy is a rock star. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's dynamics.
Yeah, my brother. 100 or nothing here. We are moving.
Master's boy like we mixing desk.
Yeah, my brother. I don't even know if you know. Like we take that thing so serious because presence is everything. When we arrive, you will hear us.
Yeah.
You will hear us in the set because it's about the people. Though. The people must feel us.
Yeah. No, thank you very much.
Know, they feel you. It's petty high priest.
ZADOK.
Lord Benjamin.
Yeah. All the best with your work, man.
Thank you for your time, man. That's dope. Shout out to you.
Yes, sir.